A warning! This movie's shenanigans won't just smooth out one of your slappy hours, but probably all 1039. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainely Movies. As part of my coverage of TIFF50, the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2025 coming-of-age road comedy Nimrods, which will be released in theaters on August 14th. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content, like reviews, rank lists, and recommendations. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and even some tailored film recommendations. So be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Nimrods stars Thames, Kylr Coffman, and Foust, and was directed by Kirk. It tells the story of three high school bandmates who embark on a cross-country road trip for the chance to open for Green Day on New Year's Eve. Fandom is a bit of a hot topic when it comes to film. Usually, it's discussed in terms of franchises or IPs, and the devoted fan bases who flock to the theaters with each newly released film. Most film fandom discussion is centered around the fans themselves, and the collective impact they have, positive or negative, on the reception of the thing that they love so much. But in most of these cases, the fandom actually becomes a separate entity when talking about the franchise, because the movies are just something the fans like, rather than something they're actually a part of. It's rare to come across a movie about fans that still manages to be for fans, really including the fandom at all levels. But that's exactly what we've got here with Nimrods. This is a movie about Green Day fans made for Green Day fans, so it's only appropriate that I tell you a little bit about my own Green Day background so you can see where I'm approaching this movie from. I've been a fan of the band for about 25 years now. I first started to get into them in the very early 2000s, and they were even my first real concert. They quickly became my favorite band, and as a teenager, I was a huge fan. Honestly, even now, I'm still a pretty big fan. I go see them every tour, and still regularly listen to mostly their older stuff. But I cannot stress to you enough just how much I used to listen to Green Day back in the day. Seriously, just look at my Green Day stats on Last.fm from 20 years ago or so, and you'll see the level of insanity that I'm talking about here. And mind you, that didn't include CD or iPod scrobbles, and was long before streaming services were a thing. So 14-year-old me would have without question rated Nimrods 5 out of 5, even if it had kept their awful original title, New Year's Rev. I still celebrated TIFF50 by making this my 50th movie of the festival, but age and some associated fandom mellowing has given me a unique perspective on the film, allowing me to critically analyze it, but still have all the joy and fun that comes from experiencing something as an ex-superfan. Like I said, Nimrods is a movie about fans for fans. Billie, Joe, Mike, and Trey all feature in the film, and the band play themselves in a handful of scenes, but this story is more Green Day adjacent than it is actually being about the band. Instead, this is more of a coming-of-age teen road comedy, following a trio of teens hoping their band can hit it big as they travel across the country with the dream of opening for their musical idols. Loosely inspired by Green Day's early touring days, this is a story about creative freedom, dreams, and friendship, with the addition of the motivating boost that heroes and fandom can provide. The acting here is fine, with Thames, Kylr Coffman, and Foust each contributing a distinctive personality to the in-movie band, and Mckenna offering up a nice supporting performance too. The film kind of blurs the line between road comedy and wish fulfillment fantasy, but offers up plenty of fun shenanigans. That said, the story here is very simple, and the plot beats are as predictable as they come. As a fan of both Green Day and coming-of-age comedies, I could mostly look past that, but the problem lies with how repetitive it all gets. It's a classic road trip movie with a series of setbacks, but every issue the band faces ends with one of the members wanting to give up on the trip or deciding to quit the band altogether, with Thames' Tommy having to convince them to stay and press on with the trip. It would be fine as a one-time plot beat, but it just happens way too many times over the course of the film. This movie may not feature the most unique story, but it's definitely a fun one for Green Day fans. Written by director Kirk, based on a story that he and Green Day developed together, it's clear that despite having worked with Billie Joe on a professional level in the past, making the 2016 movie Ordinary World, he's also just a fan of the band. So themes of dreams and fandom are embedded in the story, but so are a whole lot of Green Day Easter eggs. This is a movie containing dozens and dozens of references to decade-spanning Green Day lore, all threaded right through the story. Some of these references are the basis for major plot points, while others fall into the blink and you'll miss them category. For instance, Tommy's guitar has 924 written on it. It's never mentioned, and will likely pass by unnoticed by most viewers, but Green Day fans will pick up on the subtle reference to the famous Gilman Street Club where Green Day and many other Bay Area punk bands got their start. From mud fights and repurposed tour vans to drunk bunnies and reverence for blue, this movie is overflowing with details that'll come across as just odd quirks to most viewers, but will surely overjoy anybody who used to frequent Green Day Authority's trivia page in the mid-2000s. Not everybody will have the benefit of recognizing these references and Easter eggs, of course, and there's a good chance that non-fans won't really have all that much to grab onto here. But even the most casual of Green Day fans will still be able to enjoy the music. There are a few songs played by the fictional in-movie band, the Analog Dogs, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear This Will Be Our Year by the Zombies early on, but it's the Green Day-filled soundtrack that really provides a wealth of musical favorites here. More than 20 Green Day songs feature throughout this film, including several performed during an in-movie concert, which pretty accurately captures the energy and experience of their live show, I might add. The song choices for this film span from the 39 Smooth era to now, including their brand new song, I'm Never Gonna R.I.P. So there's a little something for everyone. It features the big expected hits like American Idiot, Good Riddance, and Longview, but some slightly deeper cuts make the setlist too. Panic Song, Hoshinka, Bab's Uvula Who, even a certain country-tinged Trey song pops up in a perfectly fitting scene. So this movie will be just fine for most people. It probably won't be anything too special for the average filmgoer, but the culmination of all the little references will make it pretty tough for Green Day fans, or former fans, to not have a good time with this one. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. The biggest pro has definitely got to be all of the Green Day references. This obviously probably won't be much of a pro to people who aren't already Green Day fans, but to be fair, considering the Green Day connection is the film's biggest selling point, it likely won't have all that much to offer non-fans. The band is in the film, but it's not really about them. Instead, this is a movie about Green Day fans made for Green Day fans. Everybody can enjoy the extensive soundtrack, featuring more than 20 Green Day songs, ranging from hits like American Idiot to quirky deep cuts like Dominated Love Slave, and even including a new song. The soundtrack is great, but it's all of the references to career-spanning Green Day lore that makes this movie especially satisfying to fans. From mud fights to guitar decals to a full-on Green Day concert, complete with Drunk Bunny, this has plenty for Green Day fans to excitedly point at in recognition. On the con side, the biggest issue is how repetitive the story is. Originally, I was gonna kind of tear into the script as a whole in this con. I mean, the plot's very simple, but it does tell a mostly fun story that incorporates its plethora of Green Day references pretty well. But even as a fan, the repetition definitely tries the audience's patience here. This is a teen road comedy, so I know we're not talking about some sort of great work of fiction or anything, but underneath all of the music and fun fan moments lies a skeletal story that just plays on a repeating loop. Over and over again, one of the band members wants to quit and give up on the cross-country road trip, and then Tommy has to convince him to stay and press on. This would be fine as a one-time plot point, but it's repeated every time the characters encounter a new bump in the road, so it really starts to distractingly stand out. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Nimrods or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd use them if you're in the market for any of these movies or anything else. I'm gonna give Nimrods 4 out of 5 paws. This is definitely a movie made for fans. The story itself is simple, predictable, and very repetitive, but the Green Day-filled soundtrack and dozens upon dozens of references to decade-spanning Green Day lore makes for an extremely fun film for members of Idiot Nation. I would recommend Nimrods, unsurprisingly, to Green Day fans. People who casually like their music will no doubt enjoy the soundtrack, but this will definitely play best for fans who are very familiar with the band. Not just the music, but the history and lore too. If you're the kind of person who used to spend hours poring over the trivia pages on Green Day Authority back in the day, then you are going to love spotting all the references and Easter eggs throughout this movie. Just be aware, even though the band features in the movie, it's not really about them. So if you're coming to the film just to see Billie, Joe, Mike, and Trey, you may find yourself a little disappointed, because they're definitely not the focus here. If you liked Nimrods, I would recommend Riding in Vans with Boys. This behind-the-scenes tour documentary follows Cut You Up, a small San Diego band, as they join the 2002 Pop Disaster Tour in support of Blink-182, Green Day, and Jimmy Eat World, featuring live performances, candid backstage footage, and plenty of ridiculous immature shenanigans. This offers a real look at a band who got to open for their idols. If you'd prefer another band fandom movie, you might want to watch Rock and Roll High School. This musical comedy features the Ramones and focuses on a girl desperately trying to get to a Ramones concert while facing off against her music-hating principal. With a Ramones-filled soundtrack and plenty of chaotic, subversive fun, this'll probably leave you chanting "Gabba Gabba Hey" in rebellious teenage solidarity. And if you'd rather have another movie about a punk band trying to make it big, you should check out Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains. Featuring several real-life punk musicians in acting roles, this stars Diane Lane and Laura Dern as teenagers who start an all-girl punk band. The film's as rough around the edges as the band's DIY aesthetic, but provides an interesting look into fame, fan culture, and the music industry. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Nimrods? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite Green Day album? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe or add it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainely Movies, the way life should be.